What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. There is a new clip from the Blu-ray Justice League Blu-ray DVD showing behind the scenes stuff of making Batman and Superman costumes. The costume designer Michael Wilkinson is discussing things that are, you know, going into making these costumes, and of course, like pretty much every movie, they change stuff about the costumes. So he's talking about that, and we get to see Henry Cavill in the suit and Ben Affleck in the suit doing some testing and stuff like that. And so let's go ahead and check it out. I've watched it, but let's watch it again.
The broom is going like this.
Sorry, there's a quick ad. We also get to see Zack Snyder a few times, which is nice because it always just feels like... No, you guys. So let's watch it.
This time around, we really wanted Superman to really jump off the screen and have a more special luster and luminous quality. The blue of the suit is a little bit more intense and saturated.
It's definitely noticeable, the changes.
And also, we developed this highly chromed and reflective undersuit. So when you get the fabric,
I thought that was cool that they...
that is stretched over that.
That's how they got that look in his suit.
Depth and reflection, and it gives the suit a metallic feel.
There's no feeling like it. It's a special thing to put the Superman suit on, and I get excited about it still. Me and my friends,
see Zack Snyder there.
We geek out about Superman, and it's true.
That's one of my favorite parts of the movie, to see him rip open his shirt. That was one of my favorite parts.
This is my costume office in here. I've been working on some prototypes for the new superhero costumes.
There's Flash, Aquaman. Oh, there's the black suit, you guys!
This is where we have meetings with the director and show him what we've been working on and the new ideas.
There's Zack Snyder again.
For the superheroes.
What is this outfit? It's weird.
Yeah, it's really odd.
First up, we have the sculpture of the tactical suit for Batman, which is the suit that we'll see at the end of the film. It's built over the bat suit from the last film, and this time he has another layer of armor when he realizes that he has to really lift his game to fight with the other superheroes and overcome the alien invasion. So this is the cowl from Batman vs Superman, and this is the new cowl that we're developing.
That's cool to show the difference. It looks very different. The mouth,
and
the body.
having a slightly different silhouette, just tweaking the lines to make him look super sharp.
So, yeah, just to show some of the differences. Oh, Batman. Show some of the differences between the two suits. They're obviously Superman's suit. The difference in his suit was very obvious. The color was very obvious. However, in the movie, Superman's suit has almost a greenish color to it. It is very, very bright compared to Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel. Each movie, it's gotten a little more vibrant. The BVS suit is still my favorite for the Superman suit, personally. And then in like the poster, when they finally added Superman to the Justice League posters, it didn't have that greenish tint to it. It had this beautiful blue color to it. But, you know, it's still a gorgeous suit, nonetheless. But, so speaking of Zack Snyder, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this new report that came out that Zack Snyder was actually fired from Justice League last year and didn't choose to step down because of his family tragedy. But Warner Brothers said that he was stepping down because of his daughter's death, and according to this report, he was actually fired. And then, you know, they used Joss Whedon, of course, to change as much as they possibly could. This is coming from a source that was writing for entertainment outlets, media outlets like Mashable. I forgot what other ones they said. Variety, I think, is the one that reported it, if I'm not mistaken. But this source that worked for these media outlets that stopped writing for media outlets decided to come out and say what he apparently had found out, and that was that Zack Snyder had been fired. The thing I don't understand is if you're going to fire him and take him off of the movie, Just do a whole new movie and push back the release date. Don't sell it to everyone that it's still going to be Zack Snyder's movie and that the changes are not going to be noticeable and that it's still his vision. And then you have all of us defending that, actually defending that. All of us fans saying, no, it's still going to be Zack Snyder's movie. It's still going to be Zack Snyder's movie. It's still his vision. And then the trailers that came out supported that because it was so much of his stuff that, you know, and then the movie comes out and, you know, all that. And it's not, it's tons of stuff that was taken out from the trailers and everything. And then all these deleted scenes that were confirmed to be in the original version. And now this one that we got the other day of Superman in the black suit. So, not in the black suit, but the black suit in the scene. So it's clear that they obviously changed as much as they possibly could. And why not just make a whole new movie with Joss Whedon if that's what you want to do? Don't fire him, make it seem like he had to step down using his daughter's death as the reason for it. Sorry, my kids are going crazy today. Yeah, just shoot a new movie with Joss Whedon as the director so he can give you what you guys want instead of making it seem like it's still Zack's movie and we're just doing minor reshoots, you know. Push the date back so you can actually have time to work on everything, the CG and all of that stuff, so Superman doesn't look stupid and, you know, everything looks good and doesn't look rushed. Because that kind of stuff takes time, and it's just, I don't understand. It's stupid. Like, how are you going to do that to your director that you have on contract for all these movies, which, yes, he's still working on the script for Wonder Woman 2 with Patty Jenkins. He's still working on that movie. If I'm not mistaken, he did the story and stuff for Aquaman. Was it the story or is he producing? I don't remember, but I know he has something to do with Aquaman. He's still going to be working on these movies in the DC Cinematic Universe. But of course, we don't expect to see him directing any more movies because Warner Brothers is just ridiculous. They want to try to act like they're a director-driven studio, which obviously they're not. If they're going to bring in another director to change everything. So it's really disappointing. Like, it's not surprising that Ben Affleck is hesitant about fully committing to the Batman role. At least if they would have done that, if they would have said, you know what, we're firing Zack Snyder, we don't like the direction he's going, we're going to have Joss Whedon do a whole new movie, which pretty much is what kind of happened anyway. We're going to push back the release date like a year or whatever. At least we would have known what to expect. We wouldn't have expected a Zack Snyder movie anymore. And especially putting all his stuff in the trailers and then taking most of it out of the movie that we saw in the trailers. Like, we expected to see a Zack Snyder movie. And then they're saying like, oh, the reshoots are not noticeable, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they are, because Superman's face looks stupid. You botched your best, you know, everyone's character that they were looking forward to seeing. And the other reshoot scenes were obvious as well because the backgrounds looked reshot. They looked different. They didn't look like the original scene or whatever from 2 seconds ago, you know. So yeah, they were obvious. Batman's hair is different and all this other stuff going on. So yes, they were obvious, and just do a whole new movie. Like, I'm not going to keep going on about it, but at least we would have known what to expect if they had done that and had been honest about it, you know. It's obvious that they didn't like the direction Zack Snyder was going because of how much they changed. So we already know that. But just say it. Like, I know they're just trying to save face and make it seem like we're not firing him because it's going to make us look bad. You know, it happens all the time. I didn't want him to be off of Justice League. I wanted a movie that was like Man of Steel and BVS, Zack Snyder's vision, tying in all of those movies, filling like a trilogy, like it was supposed to. And it's obvious that they tried to distance themselves away from Man of Steel and BVS as much as possible because we don't really see anything that's reminiscent of those movies and, you know, changing the music and everything. So, it's really unfortunate. I feel very bad for Zack Snyder. Who's going to want to commit to Warner Brothers for these superhero movies, these DC movies, because these are big commitments. These superhero movies usually are big contracts, and so I don't know who's gonna want to commit to anything like that with all this stuff going on. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. So check out the links in the description, guys. Check out my geek merchandise if you haven't yet. And there's a new episode of Nerd News Now. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.